A lot of times we go through life, we don't really think about what we eat. We are always on the go. We go out to eat, we get fast food. We don't really consider what is in our food.
Yes.
And we're having a lot of health issues.
It's our passion. It's our whole lives. And dance really changed my life for the better. So we have what we call channels or meridians in the body. And they're kind of like, if you can imagine blood vessels and the lymph vessels and the nerves, it's kind of like that, but it's more invisible and it's in the spaces in the body.
Vein disease is a big problem. Depending on what study you read, 50 to 75% of the U.S. population has venous disease, but it's a very small fraction that is getting it treated.
I believe that there's not a one tool to create a wellness journey. I believe that there's an array of tools that you can use. I believe very much in nutrition, fitness, movement, Chinese medicine. It's an array of things. It's all about finding your own personal cocktail. And what works for me might not work for you. So it's all about personalizing that cocktail in your health issues or whatever your journey is.
Hi, I'm Michelle Gonzalez-Tyler, one of the hosts of Remember You podcast. Why don't you tell us about your place?
We're so happy to have everybody here together. We're doing our Health and Wellness Expo. We have some of the best exhibitors, some of the best health and wellness professionals from the Naperville, Aurora area here today for the community to come and connect with.
I am Amanda, and I decided to start a studio of my own after teaching for many, many years in this area. And my husband and I were former professional dancers. We met actually working for Tokyo Disney.
Oh, cool.
In Japan.
That's cool.
And he's from London. And so he moved over here. We've been teaching dance together ever since.
I became a chiropractor because I suffered some injuries playing high school sports that were not treated well with traditional medicines. And came from a very medically established mindset family, but through the gift of one of my college chemistry lab partners, like, hey, you should see a chiropractor. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to see a chiropractor.
Yeah.
Well, one visit with a chiropractor, I felt like significantly better. And that really changed the trajectory of my career. So I became a chiropractor and then decided to open here and was kind of a standalone chiropractor on the west side of Aurora.
Well, I was playing baseball in college and I was having trouble with pulling muscles in my legs and so forth. So my eventual grandmaster was teaching the class every Monday night. So I went to ask him. He told me to come take Taekwondo. He goes, Taekwondo, good for legs. So that's how I got started.
I've been in the field of wellness for over 30 years, doing lots of different things, working for the government, working for nonprofits, working for businesses, doing some worksite wellness. Through COVID, I did worksite wellness. And then after the COVID thing, I decided I wanted to do something a little closer to home, and Kohler was a great opportunity. My company is Amada Senior Care. We're based in Geneva. We provide non-medical caregiving services. So what that is anybody with age, infirmity, cognitive disability. As soon as you can't really take care of yourself.
Got it.
Right?
Yeah.
A member of my team will help you stay as independent as possible in your own home.
Awesome.
My company is Amada Senior Care. We're based in Geneva. We provide non-medical caregiving services. So what that is anybody with age, infirmity, cognitive disability. As soon as you can't really take care of yourself.
Got it.
Right?
Yeah.
A member of my team will help you stay as independent as possible in your own home.
So growing up from a household that we didn't really care about nutrition, it was just about eating. So there was carbs, there was fats, there was sugars. So as long as it tasted good, you were depressed, you eat. If you're happy, you eat. You celebrate, you eat. It led to a lot of health issues in my family. Cancer, diabetes, Alzheimer's, cholesterol, heart conditions, you name it. After my youngest was born, I totally changed my life around, gave up a lot of bad habits, lost 8 pounds, became a professional natural bodybuilder. And I wanted to extend that for longevity because I want to be there for my kids. And so now they emulate the foods that we eat.
I was a pretty sick teenager, diagnosed with Crohn's disease at the age of 15, put on all the regular meds, did my meds for 6 years, and then one day I just kind of took myself off of them and Never went back after that. But then I encountered Chinese medicine out in Portland, actually. And it was right after I had graduated college. I'm like, okay, now what? And so it was, oh my gosh, I just fell in love with the whole concept, just everything about it was just like, yes, this is me. This is what I'm going to do. And it's been the same passion ever since.
I think two key moments that I started or that I realized would be a good idea for 5-5 was I worked in an adolescent con with troubled teen girls, and there was a probation officer that came in, and she was also a personal trainer. And so she combined teenage girls don't want to talk to anybody, especially troubled teens. Yeah. Wow. She was the coolest person ever, and she came in and took them to the out. And I'm like, okay, they opened up to her, and I'm like, okay, she's on to something. I'll do that someday. And it was like, I don't know, 20 years out. I had 5 for 14 years.
I was family practice doc for about 12 years, trained in the Chicagoland area here. I saw patients with vein disease in my practice, needed a good place to send them, so I used to send them to Dr. King, who was part of Vein Clinics of America, and they got great results. After about 12 years, I got a flyer that they were looking to expand. They were opening up more offices. I gave Dr. King a call. He said, come spend the day with me, see what we do. So I went there, spent a day with him, got to talk to his patients, and saw what a huge difference that vein treatment made for these patients.
I was a competitive dancer growing up, so seeing my friends have injuries, that's what kind of got me into doing physical therapy, so I can help people.
The place opened up in 2012. It's a family-owned restaurant. It's pretty cool. Even though not everyone there is family, I still consider everyone their family. It's pretty close. Like, all the employees, every time you're going into work, I see it more as a fun place to be at rather than being there and working. I really love the environment. Yes, I feel like when you find a job, that's the best thing you can ask for.
Well, Suburban kind of born in 2010. We started as a traditional landscape lawn service kind of a company. And over the years, we've been coming out to focus on the outdoor space for people to really create some great memories and be out there is whenever they want.
My parents actually found the franchise back in 2019. We went to go learn more about the corporation. Once they started to do the franchising, COVID hit. We still moved forward, did our build out. We really like the concept. The concept has ocean waves, hanging lanterns, crystal grids. Feels like you're in Bali or Tulum on the beach. So that's kind of what drew us to it.
When I was in high school, I was offered a job as a dental assistant to get on-the-job training. I, prior to that, had no affiliation with dentistry. I started working when I was in 10th grade as a dental assistant, and I loved the profession and got onto that career path.
It's our passion. It's our whole lives. And dance really changed my life for the better. It was my home away from home. And every day, no matter what challenges I was facing, I could go to the studio and express myself non-verbally in a way that was athletic and was still creative.
Yeah.
So
That's beautiful.
yeah.
So when the Hertz levels rise, that's when the body begins to heal.
Feel the vibration.
Yeah.
Meditation for the mind and so forth. It's real minor, nothing major, but how to clear the mind and think about peaceful things, because your thoughts are going to lead your actions.
Great.
So we try to work on that part. If you get that part together, everything else will fall into place for you.
What we usually find is like Kirsten always waits a lot to get help. It's always worth having research and be ready to go. And so we also team up with financial planners, estate law attorneys. So when those conversations are happening, believe it or not, when you're in your 50s, when you're in your 60s, like, hey, what's my plan here? What options are available?
A lot of times we go through life, we don't really think about what we eat. We are always on the go. We go out to eat, we get fast food. We don't really consider what is in our food.
Yes.
And we're having a lot of health issues. We're seeing, prescriptions. And a lot of people just want to get back to basics, right? And it's about getting back to basics, cooking at home, enjoying that time with your family, even if it's like a quick 5-minute meal. I actually come to people's houses, or we do Zooms where we prepare foods and we talk about the importance of nutrition and the effects on the body. That is amazing.
So we have what we call channels or meridians in the body. And they're kind of like, if you can imagine blood vessels and the lymph vessels and the nerves, it's kind of like that, but it's more invisible and it's in the spaces in the body. So the acupuncture points are access points on the surface of the body where we insert a very fine hair-thin needle, sterile, disposable, one-time use, into that access point, and it's going to access those channels in the body. And if you can imagine, it's like a river. And a river, you want free flow. Because, you know, if you get like a big rock in there, a dam, you're going to have too much energy on one side and not enough energy on the other side. So acupuncture points are going to be like accessing that and helping to move that energy, which we call chi, to allow free flow. Because pain and disease is basically a lack of free flow. It's blockage.
There we go.
Vein disease is a big problem. Depending on what study you read, 50 to 75% of the U.S. population has venous disease, but it's a very small fraction that is getting it treated. There's a lot of people out there treating venous disease, but a lot of them are not doing it correctly. They're treating bits and pieces of it. You have to treat the venous system from the start out to the surface, and you have to take care of everything that's abnormal, not just bits and pieces of it.
I like to think of myself as a problem solver. People come in here not because they need a new bed. They come in here because they're not getting a good night's sleep, because they're waking up in pain. So first we have to figure out what their problem is. Sometimes we can't help them because they're like, I'm sleeping fine, I'm not in pain, I just need a new mattress. It's like, hey, like, can sell you a new mattress, but it doesn't sound like anything's the matter. So we figure out what that issue is. We got about 50 of the best beds in here. We help them narrow it down to the one that's going to fix their problem and get them the best night's sleep. Everybody's so different.
What it comes down to is we're building unique spaces, right, where people can hang out, people can build memories, people can actually just run to the backyard and just fire up a grill and throw some steak on the grill and without have to be stuck in traffic, trying to get to a restaurant, trying to get to the store. And it's what made us be kind of unique of a service. You know?
Yeah. So instead of going out, you bring it home and you bring it in. And bringing the family together.
Bring the family together. That's the whole beauty of us delivering these beautiful outdoor spaces out there.
That goes a lot longer than just landscaping, or a lot deeper than just landscaping.
I believe that there's not a one tool to create a wellness journey. I believe that there's an array of tools that you can use. I believe very much in nutrition, fitness, movement, Chinese medicine. It's an array of things. It's all about finding your own personal cocktail. And what works for me might not work for you. So it's all about personalizing that cocktail in your health issues or whatever their journey is.
So Pure Health really prides ourselves on getting to know the individual, not only what their condition is, but what their goals and objectives are in life. Do they want to play more with the grandkids? Do they want a vacation? Do they want to play more golf? Do they want to get into triathlon? Do they want to weight lift? Do they want to just be healthier? And so their goal becomes our motivating factor. This is what we want to do. So we do spend a lot of one-on-one time.
Obviously, you're a success story, but what else can you share another success story?
One of my success stories recently, a woman came in, having trouble getting pregnant young, nothing wrong, unexplained infertility, right? Perfect. We just go in there, find what the imbalances are, and yeah, she gets pregnant like so quick. I'm like, be careful.
There's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of success stories. I mean, I honestly attribute that to my success.
Yeah, it's just rewarding.
You don't know, you're frustrated, and for me, it was like the last thing I tried, and then 2 months later,
look at you were fast too.
Yeah,
that's great. Yeah.
I had a young man came out. I can't say he was young. He was younger than me. He had double hip replacement surgery, and he was so stiff. Usually, you lay on. You put your butt up against the wall, hold your legs up, and let them come open. His came open this far. I said, I don't know if I'm going to be able to help this guy or not. But I said, okay, let me just run my system. And sure enough, over a period of time, he slowly got his legs to open up because he was so tight with the surgery. Double hip replacement surgery is not easy. So yeah, that was some work. But he had his wife and his 5 kids there too. So it was actually a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with them. And then one of his kids she ended up getting a scholarship to Western Kentucky University for track over time. I've had several students that come down and then do some good things in their lives.
So I'm going to use Michelle, who's here today. She went through the meditation, and in her mind, she had something that she wanted to focus on, a goal. I saw her a couple weeks later, and that goal was achieved. And it was.
Wow. Tapping into the subconscious and bringing it to reality, right?
Sure.
That's something that through the meditations you really focus on?
It is.
Yeah, beautiful.
So we work on goals throughout. That I always say that meditation is a process. If you're there for a session with me, I want you to continue every night before bed. Have something that you'd like to manifest. Say it over 10 times in a row. Close your eyes and go to bed. The next morning, you'll wake up renewed.
And so you're bringing to the mind aspect, you're bringing the body aspect into it with what Kohler provides, right? With the massages and the other therapies and things. Very good.
I had a student from age 6 who has now graduated from Juilliard.
Cool.
And just seeing her grow through those stages of difficulty, awkwardness, teenage years, but still have the tenacity to train to a high standard. It's not easy. There were many days where she struggled, but then to see the outcome, and I mean, she's gone on to dance in professional companies from there. That's what I think getting into Juilliard was a dream of hers for a long time.
I have a 98-year-old gentleman, and he's never used his benefits. Wow. And you think that's pretty common? It's very common. Interesting. It used to be what guys used to discharge. It used to be so difficult for them to access it. Interesting. And so they had their huge wait lists and things like that. There was some legislature change. Now there's community care. Awesome. So it was a lot more accessible. So this guy's 98 years old. Never too late. Lives by himself on 20 acres. Oh my goodness. His wife died about a year and a half ago. We took care of his wife, and I was chatting with the and learned that he didn't even know he had Spanish. Wow. And it was great. They didn't know where his paperwork was, so we did a Freedom of Information Act request. We got all his discharge. Oh my God. I'll show you records. And he's got him all signed up for his VA benefits. He's so cool. So it says 90, right? He has effortlessly dementia. Super high function, great guy. 98. I mean, that is amazing. 98. And on his own. Yeah, he's a total badass. Total badass.
Probably the most satisfying patients we have are the patients who have the chronic ulcers, and they've been going to the wound clinic for years. And they get the ulcer treated, and 6 months later, it's back. It takes longer to treat that second ulcer, and then it's back in 3 months. The ulcers start taking longer to heal, and they come quicker and quicker. And I've got patients where we've got their before and after photos, and they've got big ulcerations that they thought would never heal. And when we treat them, the veins are gone, the ulcer is healed, and the skin is almost back to new. And those are the ones that are most rewarding. When we can heal those ulcers and break that cycle, for those patients, it's life-changing.
This person right here had stage 4 cancer in her sinus, and unfortunately she had COVID, so it was no longer operable, the tumor. So very quickly, the tumor spread to her brain and her eyes, so she was about to die. And the next recourse was a very strong chemo. So get the first doctor, no research, no nothing. So the chemo destroyed her colon. 15 perforations. Within 15 days, she was dying. Only 2 hours to live when she went into surgery. Once she came out of the hospital, 2.5 months later, she was 102 pounds and not a stitch of hair in her body. 4 years later, in May, this is what we have right here. So, yeah. This is my success story.
You.
Yes, that is me.
This was her, you guys.
That's me.
Our customers love coming every month because they see the benefit of massage. They see how well they're able to de-stress. They're able to think clearer. Their muscles are not as tight and tense. They don't feel they're straining from whether they're getting a workout done or they're holding a child, whatever that may look like. Everybody kind of has their own stressors as they go through life, and this really helps them relax, get their peace of mind, kind of get their me time.
My first day out to sea on that aircraft carrier, about an hour after we left port in Mayport, Florida, on 9/11 happened. So the following January, the ship and our air wing, 5,000 personnel, we deployed to the Persian Gulf for 6.5 months, where yes, we were launching and recovering aircraft that were bombing near Afghanistan.
Wow. And under all that stress, you were able to take care of everybody's teeth.
I was. And it actually provided so much wealth of experience.
All right. Very good. Well, thank you so much.
The pleasure. Thank you.
Likewise.